There was an old man and an old woman. They lived by the bright blue sea in a mud hut. Obviously, they didn't have much money. Well, that didn't matter. They had a good life. The husband was a fisherman. The wife was a spinner. Every day he'd go out to catch fish. Every day she spun wool. One day, well, you know how it always is. It's one day, something happens. Anybody here got a net? One day, he threw the net out and woof, he caught a little golden fish. Well, he'd never seen a golden fish, so he put his hand in to pull it out when it spoke to him. It said, "Please, please, fisherman, please let me go, and I will grant you whatever you desire." Well, the fisherman pulled him out and put him into the water and said, "Little fish, please, there is nothing I need. Go in peace." And he marveled about it, and he went home to tell his wife. When she heard it, she wasn't so happy. And she said, "Husband, we live in this nasty little house. Look, a mud hut, at least you could have had for a good house, a nice house, something I could be proud of." "Okay, if you really want," "Yes, I want." And so he goes back to the blue sea. And the sea is a little bumpy now. It had been calm before, but the waves are coming up higher and higher and splashing onto the shore. And he calls out, "Sea, sea, please come here. Fish, I need you. Can you hear?" Whoop! And he appeared. "Yes," said the little fish. "What is it you want from me?" "Well, I don't really want anything but my wife," and he explained. He was so embarrassed. But the fish comforted him and said, "It is done." And he went home, and there was a lovely cottage. A beautiful little cottage. Any one of us would be proud to live there. I'm sure I would. But the fisherman's wife was standing there looking at him. "Is this what you call a nice house?" "I don't think so. I want a nice house. I want a big house. Go back and you tell that fish I want a big house." "But dear, this is marvelous. This is much more than we had where we were happy. Dear, please, go." And when she pointed, he went. So he went back to the lovely, lovely sea. But the lovely, lovely sea wasn't so lovely. It was overcast in the sky and overcast in the sea, and the waves were coming onto the shore higher and higher and higher and higher, and he sang out, "Fish, fish, please come here. I must talk to you, fish dear." And the fish appeared. "What is it you want?" And he said, "Well, first of all, I want to thank you for that marvelous house. I love it, but unfortunately my wife is not so pleased." And he explained what she wanted. "I'm really sorry. Please, it's been really embarrassing, and my heart aches." When he went on and on and on, and she went on and on and on, and he went on, and the fish said, "It's all right. Go home. It is done." And when he went home, of course, there was a big house. And the big house had servants, and his wife was dressed beautifully, and there were trees, and there was landscaping, and his wife's arms were crossed. "It's okay. It is big. but it's not big enough. Go home. I want a palace. Go home. He says, this is home. I said, go home, back to the mud hut. And he did. For the mud hut was there, and he sat there for a day, 2 days, 3 days, and then she called him, come here, husband. I've been thinking, I know what I want. I want to be queen. I want a palace. Go, go, go. And he went. And when he got to the blue sea, no longer was it blue, no longer was it rough, no longer was it just over glass, it was stormy. And the waves were black, and they tumbled higher and higher and higher. Fish, fish, can you hear? My wife's upset, please come here. And the fish appeared. What is it you want? Oh, my wife. He burst into tears. Please, it's okay. Really tell me, what is it you want? And he explained. And the fish said, go home. It is done. And so we went home, and indeed, ooh, now you're talking palace. This was a palace. It was a humongous palace. And there were the boyars, and there were the courtiers, and there were the servants, and there was tons of landscaping. And his wife, she was wearing a beautiful kokoshnik, and she was wearing the most fabulous jewelry, and ermine, and sables, and minks. When she saw her husband, she said, not bad. But you, go live in the stables. I have things to do. And she did for a week. But 1 week was all that was needed for his wife to become, well, you know, dissatisfied. So she ordered her servants to order their servants to order their servants to go get her. And so he was brought, and he was pushed down on his knees. What is it you want, wife? And he struggled to stand up. Well, I've been thinking I like being queen, but I'll tell you the truth. I really do not like answering to anybody, anywhere, anyhow. No. You go and you tell that fish, that little fish, I want to be the boss of him. I want to be the empress of the sea and the land. Wife, you will bring disaster. Stay down, I'm not finished. I want you to go now, and I don't want you to come back until it is done. Yes, wife, as he was pushed out of the house. And as he was pushed out of the house, he's thinking to himself, how am I going to talk to this fish? What am I going to say? And we walked to the seas. The blue seas were not blue. They were black, and they were gray and green, and things were coming up out of them. There was a storm, there was thunder, there was lightning, there was rain, and it was so loud. He didn't know if anyone, because he could not hear himself, could hear him. So sad. And the fish appeared. What is it you want? And the fish had a rather blinky eye trained on him. I want nothing. You've been kind and good. I needed nothing, but you have given us so much. But my wife. My wife. And he told the fish what his wife wanted. And with that, the fish looked at him. Turned around and disappeared into the ocean. And when the fisherman returned home, there was the home. And there was his wife in rags, looking at him.